My parents gave me a phone to track me 24/7.
At least they know where you're going to be at.
This is that one episode on Black Mirror. I, 16 male, recently got my first phone from my parents.
Okay, this makes a lot of sense.
They told me that one of the conditions for having it was that I have to share my location with them at all times. This feels like an invasion of privacy, but they insist that it's just for my safety.
Welcome to the world.
I mean, yeah, I know when I was 16, most of my friends' parents had Life 360 or, whatever, tracked their location.
Just don't have a phone, man.
My parents never had that for me because I wasn't going anywhere. By the way, this comes from Researcher Top 5062, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, I'm very responsible. I get good grades. I have never snuck out. This doesn't feel reasonable to me. I have tried having calm conversations about it, and I have pointed out that I always tell them where I'm going, but they're holding firm. I don't actually have an issue with them knowing where I am, but the idea of them knowing where I am instantly, just through looking up my phone, makes me uncomfortable.
You're 16.
I'm honestly, like, okay, personally, I don't want to have Life 360 for kids or whatever, but I know so many parents who have it. So I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. You don't really get a say. Like I had a friend whose parents made her have Life 360, and she was also a good kid, never went out, never snuck out or anything. And she had to have Life 360. There's not much you can do.
My parents gave my brother Life. They didn't have like smartphones.
Yeah.
So they got Live 360 for my brother so I could track him.
But also, I feel like I'm going to be sharing my location with my kids because I share my location with everyone, and I hope my kids want to share their location with me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't make it.
But you're 16, man. Just don't have a phone. If you're uncomfortable with that, just don't have a phone.
Anna says you're only 16. I mean, I get it, but it is common. Yeah, that's my thing. I'm like, I get why you're upset, but also, like, so many parents do this.
Also, get a flip phone. That's what I had at 16.
I have an idea for how to express how I feel about it. I plan to buy a novelty prisoner costume for the ankle tag. Oh my God, you're such a 16-year-old. Roll up my leg to show the tag and tell them this is a symbolic representation of how I feel over the location tracking. You're so 16. You're so 16. Luckily, I saw the kind of costume I'm looking for in a shop. The ankle tag is plastic, has a blinking red light, and straps around your ankle with Velcro. It's super fake looking, but perfect for what I want to say. OP, your parents are going to laugh at you. Your parents are going to laugh at you. Jesus. But I don't know if this is a good idea. It's not. I want to make a point, but I'm not sure how they'll react. Am I just being disrespectful, or could this be a good idea? I just want to hear other thoughts.
Yeah, I did something to be petty once. I got sick once, and I put on a full body suit to show everyone that I'm sick, but staying, safe. And it backfired, and everyone actually loved it, and they wouldn't let me out of the room unless I had it on. I'd get nasty looks for a week if I didn't have it on.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
So in that sense, it makes sense. But this, dude, I mean, go for it. You know what? It's an idea. It'd be funny looking back at it. But if you are a minor under 18, you're going to have tracking on your phone.
They're going to track you, bud. And it stinks because you're like, I'm 16. I want to be free.
Yep. My kids will not have a screen until they're 18. I will give them a flip phone.
I agree.
But no iPad, nothing like that.
Nope.
Unless it's like we're together, we can have, we can like look at stuff. But
a lot of schools are probably going to make kids have, because that's what my school did at 5th grade. We had to get iPads. But they're not having it at home. They're going to have to figure out how to entertain themselves. I'm giving my kids books, and they're going to read like I did. I read all the time.
Yeah.
And I'll give them, I don't know, like Twister, and they can play Twister.
Well, kids will do what the parents
do.
Like, if your parents are always looking at the phone,
that's
they're going to
want.
And if
so that I will have to actually work on my own content.
Yeah. But dude, just a book and a phone in there. But kids are smart too.
Yeah, they'll never catch on. I mean, I do read a lot, so I think I'll just make them watch movies with me.
Yeah.
And they can't do it on their own. Like, I do watch it together.
Pretty good if I'm like with someone.
Yeah.
In an area, I don't look at my phone. Sometimes I just have to run away and go look at my phone and just like I try to look at my phone as like a smoking break, and it's like, how many smoke breaks a day do I have?
Yeah.
And it's a lot.
Crazy thing too, I'm pretty sure Life 360 just got sued for like leaking
people's
addresses
they did.
and stuff.
Yikes. Oh, rough. Bailey Bug says, with love, tell me you don't have any kids without telling me. Yeah, I mean, I know. It's really hard to have no screens in this day and age, but I do want to.
One can hope. One can hope, you know?
Do want to, because I mean, Mike, I will say, like, it is possible, because that's what my parents did. We didn't have a TV, and I feel like literally everyone around us was like, what? You don't have a TV?
Yeah.
How are you going to raise your kids without a TV?
And you can see how excited she gets when she watches TV.
Yeah, so maybe it wasn't best, but like, you can raise, it is possible. It is just hard.
And my mom did that to me, so like I'm probably going to do it. Anyways, getting into the story.
I just want to do what my parents did in terms of stuff. Commenter 1, I'm on your parents' side. When our daughter started driving, that will be a requirement for her until she becomes an adult. Parents worry about their kids 24/7. What they are demanding is not unreasonable. You're still a teen. Their house, their rules. Not to mention they are paying for the phone. OP, I just wish they would be willing to make some kind of compromise. You're 16. They're going to compromise with you. I have told them why it bothers me, and I have listened to their view as well. Like I said, I don't have an issue with the idea of them knowing where I am. The way they're doing it just makes me feel like they don't trust me when I never give them a reason not to. Commenter 2, I can sympathize. It may not be trust. It's like worry. Like I said, parents worry about kids nonstop, and that is not an exaggeration. What's your compromise? OP says, I would be happy to text them and tell them where I'm going if it's not somewhere they expect in advance. They would still know where I am, but it would be because I told them. Commenter 2, it's not the same. Again, what they are demanding is not unreasonable. Commenter 3, it's a safety thing. It's their phone that they pay for, that they let you have. The real reason you got it in the first place wasn't because you're such a good boy. It's so that you can call your parents if you end up in a sketchy or dangerous situation. The location tracking is for the same reason. Basically, from a parent, don't be a knucklehead about it. Enjoy your new phone. It was a gift. And yeah, you have to share your location. Or you could just go back to not having a phone. OP says, I will admit, probably the best protest would be to just give the phone back for that reason. I do accept that they paid for the phone, so it's their right to make this demand. I just wish they could agree to some kind of middle ground. Like if I just text them where I am from time to time. It's the feeling they don't trust me that bothers me. Oh, I guess. Commenter 3 says, it's not really about trusting or not trusting you. It's about not trusting everyone who is not you. I guarantee most of your friends share their location with their parents. I can probably also guarantee that they lie to their friends about it to seem cool. And there is an update, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of your friends, a lot of other 16-year-olds probably have to share their location with their kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
It's just how it is.
It's just you're 16. 2 years, you won't have to worry about it.
It won't even be that.
You know what I'm mad about? I share my location with my parents, and they don't share their location with me. It's rude.
Sam stopped sharing it because wasn't he like, you guys don't want to know where I'm at?
No, he shares his location with me.
Oh, he does? Oh, okay. Well, good for them.
I have his location.
Yeah.
I have most people's location. I want everyone's location in my life. If you're in my life and you're my friend, I should have your location.
Oh, boy.
Do you check them all like little... Are you staring at me?
Yeah. I should have your location.
Check them all like Sims.
Yeah, sometimes.
You ever check where I am?
Yeah, if I'm wondering where you are.
Yeah, I do that too.
Yeah. It's not like
I won't do it as much anymore.
Oh, why? I want you to check where I am.
I do, but like...
Well, Riley does it, and he goes, why aren't you home?
Yeah, that's exactly. Or like, don't come home for a while.
Whoa, you tell me to not
Or I'm like, I'm hoping you won't come home for the next 30 minutes.
Yeah. That's okay. You can check.
Okay, cool. I'm like,
yeah, Tomlin, I want your location. I want everyone's location. Give it to me. I just like to know where people are. That's not a crime.
How did this get put as a story? There's better have like something crazy soon.
Update.
A 16-year-old complaining that their parents are tracking him.
You know what? Sometimes we gotta handle the normal ones. Hi, everyone. You can see my last post. In short, my parents said that me sharing their location with them was a requirement for me to have a phone. I plan to buy a prisoner outfit from a novelty costume shop for the fake ankle tag and wear that as a symbolic protest. A lot of people gave me good advice, telling me that it would be immature and not make them change their minds. So I decided to be the bigger person. Instead of demanding they change the rules, I would instead choose the other option, which was to just not have a phone anymore. Okay, OP.
Nice.
I put the phone back in its box, rehearsed what I was going to say, and then went to my parents after dinner. I told them I appreciated the phone, but that I'd rather not have a phone than feel constantly watched, and I handed handed it back to them.
Dude, you're gonna have such a hard time when you realize that the government have satellites there constantly watching you, and you will never get away from someone not watching you. You are always gonna be watched. You will never escape.
Okay. It did not go well. At first, they laughed. Yeah, of course they did.
We're laughing.
Your 16-year-old went, I don't want your phone. I feel like you don't trust me. And they said, you're 16. You're a baby. Yeah, we're going to track you. At first, they laughed, but then my mom was very blunt with me. She said that they gave it to me as a gift because she thought it would make me feel like an adult who was responsible enough for a phone, but that it was for her peace of mind. She said I had only recently started to leave the house by myself and it was making her worry sick, and that she wanted me to not have a phone at all at first, but thought having my location made it worth it. I had wanted a phone for a while because all my friends do, and she thought giving me a phone would solve all our problems. And she didn't expect me to make such an issue of the location tracking. And she said she regretted framing it as a choice, but that she said it that way because she didn't want to hurt my feelings, and also didn't expect me to do this. She got upset, and then my dad was angry at me for upsetting my mom. He told me I was being ungrateful and that I clearly wasn't ready for that kind of responsibility that came with owning a phone if I couldn't even handle something as basic as letting us know where you are. I tried to explain that I wasn't trying to be difficult. I just didn't like the feeling of being watched all the time, but it didn't matter. The mood had totally shifted. They sent me upstairs. About an hour later, they called me back down. Then they gave the phone back to me, but said they had reevaluated it. I then discovered this means the phone was now heavily locked down. I basically can't do anything on it anymore other than call or text them and my friends.
Just get a flip phone.
They deleted all my social media apps and put a password on the app store so I can't download them again. Dude, what is this phone for? It's literally just like honestly, they should just give you an AirTag. That's what they want.
AirTag, microchip them.
Yeah.
Like Courtney says.
Location sharing is still on, but they now check to make sure it's in my backpack before I leave the house. Now, if I want to use Reddit and such, I have to use my laptop. What is the...
Okay.
So OP was like, oh my goodness, I'm going to get back at them. I'm going to show them that this isn't okay. And it went so much worse. Now he can't even use his phone.
Yeah.
Rough.
If you really want to know where he's at, buy him a new pair of shoes all the time and slip a tile in them, and you're good.
It's like I have the downside of having a phone, but with none of the upsides now. By the way, you can have the upside of listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left to this story.
Everyone in this room and in chat, raise your hand if you're being tracked right now.
I mean, yeah, I just told you that all my friends have my location.
Carly, Keon, okay? Everyone? The only way to get away from this...
Go off the grid. Leave everyone
honestly,
behind.
I don't think you can get away from this.
I think that this, Purple Axolotl says this backfired big time. Yeah.
I just love that this story is commentary on like the kid is us. You know what? The kid is us, humans, just wanting to live life, and we are giving something by the government. And it's like, oh, this is great. I love this, but I don't want to feel like I'm being watched all the time. And they just laugh at us all the time. Like, ha, ha, ha. No, you have to have this. And now they're forcing it on us with lower capabilities.
It's the panopticon, man.
Dude, we can't escape.
The thing is that I think that a lot of parents, like you're 16, unfortunately, you can't do much about this. Do I think they're being unreasonable for like taking away all of the things on your phone when you haven't really done anything wrong? Yeah. But yeah, it sucks. There's not really much you can do.
Yep. This is just a story about the bigger cause of the world we live in.
Yeah, sure. But there's a little bit left to the story.
Dare I say the I word?
I told them that I wish I had gone with my first plan instead, wearing a fake ankle tag. And they said they wish I had done that because it would have been the funniest thing they had ever seen. I agreed. As a joke, they renamed my phone and Find My as ankle monitors. Hey, your parents are kind of funny. I obviously get they're trying to be tongue-in-cheek, but it feels like it's at my expense. It is. Now, I just wish I had never brought any of this up to begin with. If anyone has any ideas on what I should do now, then please let me know because it feels like I can't win. Commenter 1 says, take your lumps. Apologize. Wearing the costume was never gonna work. The comments in your previous post said your ankle bracelet idea was immature. Also, look at it this way. If your parents jokingly wore prison guard uniforms to drive their point home to you, would that make you have more respect for them? Probably not.
Just laugh.
You're surprised at this reaction. They love you, and sometimes that means boundaries. Boundaries that can be opened up if you go along with them and give them peace of mind. The mature thing to do would have been to accept their rules and request to renegotiate at a later date. That shows maturity. It shows you recognize that trust has to be earned and maintained because it always will be. What makes you so special to not have to go through that? Forget the good grades and behavior. They gave you an expensive phone. They're going to want to make sure they can find it if you innocently lose it. So it isn't all about you per se, but you're important to them, so learn from this and do better. OP says, I realized the costume idea was immature, which is why I didn't do it. I handed the phone back, but they wouldn't take it. Now I feel like they're being vindictive by locking the phone down while forcing me to have it in the first place. Am I misunderstanding their intent? Commenter 2 says, kinda, yeah. The phone isn't optional. You're 16 and wandering around alone. You need a phone in case your car breaks down or you get lost or going to be late or whatever. It's not safe for you to be out without parents and without a phone. I agree with that. I got a phone in 8th grade.
We do live in a world, but like also didn't everybody else, didn't the parents live without a phone and location tracking and everything?
Yeah, but okay, do you know how many freaking serial unalivers there were in the 80s that people just didn't know about?
In the 80s?
Yeah, people were getting picked up. Dude, my dad almost got like picked up by this like super creepy dude when he was a kid.
Wow.
Like his friend at the time or his neighbor, they decided to hitchhike with this guy, or this guy like went over and was like, "Oh, do you wanna ride?" And my dad was like, "No." And then his friend was like, "Yeah," and like almost got, something almost happened, and he jumped out of the car though.
Good for him.
So my point is, when kids didn't have phones, things were bad were happening, and now we have the phones, and we got to use them for safety too. I think that when you start going out, and Anonymous says there were payphones, kids were still calling their parents to tell them, what was going on,
Yeah,
or
just do
parents were
that.
like, come back at this time,
Some of us were alive and remember the 80s, Riley. How was it, Purple Trader? You made it out. Did you have your parents have a location track you? Let me know that.
I don't know. I see why having, my point is less about the location tracking and more I understand why they want him to have a phone. Because once you start going out on your own or driving on your own,
yeah,
your parents absolutely want to make sure, like, what if you get in a car accident?
But are these
Do you have
parents
any way?
like kind of trending towards the helicopter parent vibe?
The only reason why I don't think they are fully helicopter parents is because I know so many parents that did this when I was a kid. My parents didn't do it, but like I know so many parents who do it, so it is super common for
My parents didn't
to
do
this.
it. I don't know.
I wouldn't do it as a parent. My parents didn't do it, but I think that, as a parent, this isn't abusive,
Mm-hmm.
Like there are parents who take away their kids' doors. That's not okay. But
I might take away my kid's door if they're up to no good.
I don't think you should ever take away a kid's door. I think that a door is privacy, and I think that every child deserves a measure of privacy.
Okay, but what if they're like selling out of their
Then tell them to
room.
not sell cocaine.
But they keep doing
They're
it.
going to keep doing it without a door. They're just going to do it not at your house.
Well,
Are you going to keep them locked in their room? Oh, well, you can't now because they don't have a door.
I'm going to take away their door so I know if they're doing it or not.
They would do it elsewhere.
I'd probably teach them. Well, anyways.
I don't think that
what are they
getting
doing
rid of
that?
a door is ever justified. I think it's silly.
Thankfully, my parents never came up with that idea.
Yeah, I think I've
But
seen
I
a lot
always
of-
kept my door open. It never was closed.
That's a different closing door, not closing door, different. Taking away a door entirely, weird. So the phone isn't optional. They tried to let you be a mostly adult about it, and you refused. You behaved immaturely and insisted that this whole situation had to happen on your terms. So now they can't trust you to act like an adult with the phone. So you get treated like a kid with a phone because the phone isn't optional. If you want to fix this, start acting like an adult. OP says, I disagreed that I was being immature by trying to hand the phone back, but I have taken the time to digest what everyone has said to me here, and I think I've accepted I was wrong to make a big deal about this. I have tried to think of situations where having the phone's location would help, but where me simply texting them wouldn't. I could think of a few, like if the phone itself was lost somewhere. I think the reason why it's bothering me is simply because I feel I have no choice over it. But when I'm older and have my own phone plan, then I can choose to stop sharing my location. Yep. If it's something I still object to at that point, I decided to talk to my parents once again about this, and I raised that point to them. They agreed and said I'm right, and it would be my choice, but even when I'm an adult, they would still worry about me. We hugged, and there is no tension in the house anymore. Yay! Heck yeah. I think I learned from this experience that I don't like seeing my parents as enemies.
Enemies of the state.
Yeah. I think the conclusion I've come to is that the tool itself isn't good or bad, but how it's used. It can be used to be controlling, but if it's not being used in that way, then it's harmless. I feel really silly for making an issue out of something that didn't need to be one.
Yeah, this
There
is
you go.
all written by the U.S. government trying to get us to be okay that they're tracking us with their credit cards.
Yeah, or it's written by a 16-year-old who was annoyed at his parents.
You get to choose that reality, listener.
Yeah, I think OP, you're 16. In 2 years, you can choose whatever you want to do. I remember my friends who had Life 360 complaining about it all the time, and me being like, "What? That's terrible! Oh my goodness!"
I don't think at 18 kids are able to do whatever they want to do.
Well, I mean, yeah, he might still be on his friends or his parents.
Once you're out of the house and paying for your own stuff, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, but I think when you're 18, they should not be like putting, parent controls on your phone at that point. That's ridiculous.
Maybe.
I think that would be ridiculous. If at 18 my parents put like controls on my phone, I'd think it's a little bit different than tracking. I think that's a step too far when you're 18.
Maybe.
What are you saying maybe?
I don't know.
Why are you
Age
saying
of consent
maybe?
might raise soon. And then you're going to get canceled for saying that 18-year-olds should have this way of life. What if the age of consent is at 21 and now everyone's going to cancel you because you
Why
didn't
would
say
they
it was
cancel
21?
me?
They might.
That doesn't make any sense.
They're going to cancel you when you're 60 whenever the age of consent goes up to 21.
What?
Calling it.
All right. That doesn't make any sense.
What do you mean it doesn't make any sense?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
Okay, this is a wild take. But used to, it was 16. The age of consent is 16 in the UK. You can vote at 16 in the UK. Would you say kids in the UK at 16 should have parental controls on their
You
phone?
can't vote in the UK at 16 right now.
Yeah, you can. They just passed it. I think it was in Germany or the UK, somewhere in there.
The UK is not Germany.
I said one of those countries. I forget. They're both European. I don't keep up with the Europeans.
What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about
feel
is
like
in
you're
certain
just being
areas. And you could in France,
purposely-
in France and that stuff, you can go to clubs at 16. You can.
Yeah, because there's... Okay.
Can you have? What about them? Should they have parental controls if they go to the club at 16?
What are you talking about?
She knows she's about to get canceled. Now she's
I
backing
don't
up.
know what you're talking about.
Caught her. Caught her.
All right then.
It's a different culture. Well, then, age of consent in Kansas 16. Should those kids have parental control if they can make?
Age of consent is different than adult. You're not. That's. What
I'm
are you
just
talking
asking. It's
about?
phone stuff. I think that this is a bigger story than us as a 16-year-old. I think this is a bigger story as us as Americans or wherever we live, with us being tracked everywhere.
All right. Riley's on the conspiracy theory.
Also,
stuff.
come check out my conspiracy theory YouTube channel that I'm gonna make soon.
This doesn't even exist yet.
Me and Dakota are doing it.
Okay, I love that for you. All
This
right.
is a spinoff. We're gonna make a spinoff, guys.
We've got
It's gonna
another
be
story,
fun.
folks.
Sophia just hates me because I
Dude.
view the world differently.
No, you're so annoying. I'm literally trying to give like actual commentary, and you're like, maybe.
I just
What are you talking about?
I just did not like that story because there was no cheating or anything bad happening. Now this story right here,
Okay.
this one might be it.
All right.
All right, here we go. I refuse to share my aunt's inheritance.
Don't share with anyone.
My 30s female aunt, 60s female, recently passed away less than a year after being diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. She's never been married, never had kids. I'm one of 6 nieces and nephews. Both my sister and female cousin, Nina, are married with kids. My male cousin, Caleb, 40 male, is married with 2 daughters, and neither of my younger brothers is married. They are largely irrelevant to this story. So it looks like we're going to be messing around with Caleb and Nina.
Uh-oh.
I do not know how old Nina is.
What do you mean messing around?
Like, not messing around, but like, that's going to be the main characters of the story. Okay. I'm single and have no intention of having kids of my own. By the way, this comes from Family Jewels Throwaway, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So background, my aunt was a doctor and went to palliative care when she was diagnosed. So she wanted to enjoy the time she had left, mostly with travel. I was close to graduating from surgery residency when she was diagnosed. She asked if I would be willing to be her care physician after graduation, accompanying her on travels, prescribing her pain meds, etc. She paid me a little bit more than I'd been making as a resident. I paid for my travel, business and first class flights, nice hotels, etc., contributed towards my student loans, and put me on the deed to her house. I moved in with her. I also moonlit/did locums when we weren't traveling, and after she got too sick to travel, so I could keep up my surgery skills. Long story shorter, even with the time I wasn't making a full surgeon's salary, I still benefited financially from the agreement. My aunt had been a doctor in the foreign service and had accumulated a lot of Middle Eastern carpets, furniture, silk, and cashmere scarves, art, jewelry in her career. Everything was open to all her nieces and nephews to split as we see fit, except the jewelry, which was left specifically to her nieces. Okay, Wow. So she was making bank.
Yeah. She had a lot of stuff to give away.
Dang. Okay. There was surprisingly little drama splitting any of it. We even had a praise, so we were all in agreement on the value of what we were getting. My sister Nina and I all have different enough tastes in jewelry that we easily agreed on how to split the nice stuff, and most of the custom jewelry was set aside for my niece and Nina's daughter for when they were older. They're both under 4. Here's where Caleb comes in. He said that his daughters deserve to have some of my aunt's jewelry as well. My sister and Nina said they're okay with splitting the custom jewelry to include his daughter, but he said that they deserve some of the nice stuff as well. My niece will probably get my sister's jewels someday and possibly mine, and Nina's daughter will probably inherit what Nina got. So Caleb says it's not fair that my niece and Nina's daughter will get more than his daughter. Caleb also says since I got the house, the furniture in the house that no one else wanted, got to travel with my aunt, and she paid off a large portion of my student loans, that I should share the wealth.
Nope. It was divvied up how it was divvied up. The only thing is I think that like it would probably be nice because you don't want kids. It'd probably be nice to give your niece, if you have a relationship with her, that jewelry, like she inherits it from you. But I don't think you owe it to anyone.
No.
That was given to you. Like
Yeah.
everything was divvied up by the aunt.
Yeah, the only thing that I have that this could be wrong is the jewelry thing. Caleb, if you want something that your daughters remembered, I would probably be like, hey, is there anything I could give to my daughters so that they can remember their aunt? Like
Yeah.
one nice piece of jewelry. That's that. Everything else is set in place. You shouldn't even say anything.
Exactly.
Dude, don't even get me started on inheritance right now. My siblings are staying out of it, and Nina says it's ultimately my choice. But that what Caleb says isn't wrong. Am I the a-hole for holding my aunt's will? Is this a hill worth passing away on? I have a great relationship with my cousins and siblings and don't want this to sour that. Top comment. This happened in my family once. My uncle gave my brother his truck, and my brother wanted to do alterations to the truck that he bought from my uncle, but my uncle was like add lift it or customize it or whatever. But my uncle was like, no, don't do that to my truck after my brother bought it.
Yeah, but it already is.
Exactly. So my uncle came to his sister, my mom, and was like, hey, I don't want this to be a big thing. I'm going to buy the truck back because it's what I really care for because I've had it for a long time, but I don't want this to mess up anything. And he talked it out like an adult, and they worked out a compromise.
Well, there you go.
What was the compromise?
What was the compromise? My uncle bought back the truck, and then my brother just got another vehicle. Yeah.
There you have it.
Yeah. And
That's all you need to do.
And that's all you need to do. This right here.
He could have totally come to her and said, like, hey, it would really mean a lot if you would, put aside some jewelry for my daughter.
With the intention not to sour the relationship.
Yeah.
That's huge. I don't like the middleman here.
No.
Nina's like, he isn't right.
Go, I don't know, Nina, give your jewelry away.
There we go. Yeah, give your piece away to him.
Come on, Nina.
Don't ask me. Also, Caleb's daughter could just so recycle or full circle this is since OP is going to be a surgeon and a doctor, she's going to be traveling everywhere. One of his daughters could take care of her.
Yeah. She's
and
like, you're going to be the aunt that gives me the inheritance one day.
Yeah, exactly. Top comment, not the a-hole. Your aunt specifically left it to you. She clearly cares about it, and it wouldn't be right to disrespect her wishes. I'd hold on to the jewelry. OP replies, my aunt was really interested in the whole jewelry played in women's inheritance and financial security in various cultures, which is why I think she specifically left the jewelry just to the nieces and not all 6 of us. But I know the last thing she wanted was for us to argue about the inheritance. When my great-grandfather, her grandfather, passed away, her cousin contested parts of the will, and it caused a lot of drama. My dad still hasn't spoken to that cousin, and it's been more than 30 years. Someone replied to OP, I think Caleb's argument that you got more is really petty and a low blow trying to manipulate you. You rearranged your entire life to be your aunt's carer. That isn't insignificant. And it sounds like you had a really special relationship that she acknowledged in her will. Caleb also inherited items and their proceeds from selling some items, so he wasn't left out of the will. There isn't anything wrong here that needs to be fixed. In the future, you can sell or gift or leave the items to whomever you like. If you have a close relationship with Caleb's daughters, maybe that will include them. Given his age, I'm assuming it would be some years yet before they have any use for inherited family heirlooms. OP replies, yeah, his daughters are 2 and 5. So it's not like there's any piece of jewelry
Yeah, they're
that
not even wanting
anyone's
anything.
been really eyeing for a wedding or anything.
I truly think if Caleb had come to her and said, hey, is there anything you could set aside when you pass? I don't know. Like, is there anything like later down the line when my daughters are like older that you wouldn't mind giving up? That would have been fine.
Another top comment, not the a-hole. I'm sorry for your loss. You must have come quite close to your aunt during the time you cared for her. I think your cousin needs to appreciate that you sacrificed a lot to provide care for your aunt, and that time out may have held back career progression, although you were wise to keep in date to be able to maintain where you were before you gave up full-time work. Whatever your aunt's will said, your property is yours now to dispose of as you wish. So, as you say, have a good relationship with your cousin. Might be nice to consider sharing items that you're not really using or have no real attachment to, or selling them and sharing the proceeds. You are under absolutely no obligation to do any of that, though. As your loss was quite shocking and recent, don't make any big decisions and ask your siblings for support. Opie replies, thank you for that. My aunt was awesome and I really miss her. She was physically present when I was growing up because of her foreign service career, but she was there every Christmas and sent us postcards from everywhere she went. I looked up to her for as long as I can remember, and that's why I became a doctor. Getting to spend those last months with her and getting to see the favorite places where she lived and visited was a blessing that I wouldn't trade anything for. I think taking some time to sit on decisions is the way to go. It's jewelry. It's not like it's going bad. And his daughters are 2 and 5. It's not like there's a wedding coming up that they need jewelry for anyway. We have an update. I just saw the title. Keon spoiled the title. And it's getting
I didn't
crazy.
actually see it, so
Good.
yeah.
Look away if you haven't
Look
seen it.
away. Yeah.
I will say there has been, ever since my great-grandpa died, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Ever since my great-grandpa died, there have been some like talks about the inheritance that have rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah, money talk is so tricky. I mean, I've lost, couple 2 uncles, and the money talk that happens, and even now, like my grandparents are older, it's tricky.
Yeah.
And my dad's 1 of 10, even, we people with the best of intentions, tricky trying to figure all that out.
I have definitely looked at a few people a little differently since.
Mhm.
And I'm like,
Yeah, no, money is hard, man. Money makes things tricky.
I don't even care if I
loving
get
family
money.
relationships.
The only thing I want from my great-grandpa's house is his popcorn bucket that he would make popcorn for me as I grew up. That's the only thing I want.
I honestly don't want I want my parents' house to be like Sam and I's shared vacation home, like summer home or whatever, like where all the kids come and we all hang
that's
out at
cute.
the house. I want that.
Oh,
Like,
that's
I don't
cute.
want anyone to get it.
Yeah.
I want both of us to have it.
I just want that popcorn bucket. Dude, and he has 2, so me and my brother, because every Friday night we would go to his house,
Yeah.
eat popcorn, eat ice cream, and watch Blue Bloods and Monk, and what else? Something else. And then we would work in the morning
Mm-hmm.
every Friday night.
Oh.
It was the best. Anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Update. Am I the old for not sharing my aunt's jewelry with my cousin's kids? Positive resolution. And because there was some confusion about who everyone was. 2 cousins, siblings, Caleb and Nina. 3 siblings. I didn't give them letters, but let's call them Emma, Dave, and Tom. So these are all siblings. So she had 2 cousins who are siblings, Caleb and Nina, and then she has 3 siblings of her own, Emma, Dave, and Tom. Caleb and Nina are cousins. Emma all have kids. Okay, so Caleb, Nina, and Emma have kids. OP, Dave, and Tom do not. So I'll update. 6 of us got together over the 4th of July. I was able to disperse the last of the proceeding from selling the art, rugs, antiques, etc. that none of us wanted. That being a few $1,000s each. Not life-changing money for any of us, but nice to have. I would probably use it to go on a solo trip in my aunt's honor. Once I accrue enough vacation now that I'm working full-time again. I had decided based on your comments that I would offer any of my nieces, existing and future, if Dave and Tom ended up having kids, and that they could shop for my inherited jewelry for their weddings. Before I could even present that solution, Caleb was super apologetic about the way he had acted. Yes! And was feeling guilty that he hadn't been able
Good.
to spend more time with her aunt before she passed away.
That's great. This is great news.
Yeah, he came to his solution is like, hey,
I'm sorry. Should have done that. Should have been more respectful about it. And we love that.
this is beautiful. Small kids at home, work obligations, etc. And jealousy that I had been more flexible to travel with her for those months, and that made him lash out. Yeah. Sorry, I was just thinking about. Oh man, that hit hard.
It's all right.
Yeah. Dang.
Take your time.
Ugh. Dude, I will be real. I have pushed that so far down that I'm not even really thinking about it because I'm like,
it
I
comes in
I got a
waves.
podcast to do. But then
comes
this
in
story, dude,
waves.
thinking about my great grandpa going through his care. Wow. Okay, sorry. Turns out his wife had essentially read him the riot act when he had complained to her that their daughters weren't included, reminded him that their daughters have their whole side of the family, reminded him that their jewelry is traditionally passed down to female lines, the whole bit. He was quite embarrassed by how childish he had acted. But I did present that solution, and both Nina and Emma thought it was such a good idea, and that they had the same. When the next generation of girls get married, that they can choose from their inheritance too. Oh, this is so cute. Man. And you can inherit just stories just like this from your favorite podcast platform. Just search up OK Storytime on Apple, iHeartRadio, or Spotify, and you will be rich of crazy stories.
You'll be
just like
rich. Rich.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, this is amazing. I like that he comes to these conclusions.
Yeah.
I also don't like the theme of this episode that everyone's like thinking in the right headspace because I want something crazy to happen.
I want them to go crazy. But that was the end of that story.
Nope.
It's not the end of that story.
We got a little bit more.
Yeah, I forgot. Yep. That's not the end of that story.
Seems like everything's pretty.
It seems like everything's good.
Yeah. I love that women pass down jewelry to each other to that's so cute. I love that. That's so significant.
I unfortunately did not get any jewelry from my grandmother. Oh, well, that's actually not true. I just realized because a lot of it went to my aunts. So kind of a similar thing of it, like it went to my aunts rather than my dad, even though I'm here. But my grandmother years ago gave me this beautiful little like brooch, which I have in my room actually. And it's like a gold clown with a little pearl belly, and it's kind of like for acting, basically, like theater thing. That was her mother's, I believe.
Wow.
Or her grandmother, who I'm named after, who was also an actor.
Okay, yeah. That's perfect.
Yeah, so that was
wow.
like, that felt really lovely, and I still have that.
That's cute.
Yeah, it's this beautiful little clown.
Yeah. It's hard divvying up stuff, too, because there's so many of us with my great-grandpa.
Mm-hmm. That's how it was with my dad's family, yeah. So many people, and not that much to divvy up.
Yeah. So all is well. Thank you for your support and kind words. I'm not going no contact with any of my siblings or cousins. I still miss my aunt. Work is not terribly exciting, but it's a paycheck, and it's nice to see that my surgical skills did not slip irreparably. What?
Irreparably.
Irreparably.
Close.
Irreparably.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. You. Irreparably. That's 5 syllables right there for a very short word.
Irreparably. It's actually 4.
Okay. Top comment. Your cousin has a good wife. OP replies, she's quite awesome. He did well. One of the top comments. One change you may consider is to set an age, say 25. If they're not married, they can have the same choosing. Not everyone gets married. OP replies, that's not a bad thing to consider. In my 30s, and while I'm not ruling out marriage someday, I'm also not really seeking it. Downvote a comment, waiting for the update that Caleb is broke and will be coming soon, asking for a loan. OP reply, LOL, I read a lot of Best of Redditor Update. If this were there, it would be a 7-part saga, and at the end, I would somehow have twins. Caleb would be divorced with the gambling or substance habit, and expecting triplets with a mistress. A friend of a friend lawyer would crawl out of the woodwork for something, and family helps family would be said at least a dozen times. Yeah. So that's not going to happen. Great story.
Yeah. Real story.
Real story about real people that have real emotions and morals. Worst stories we can read on the show.
I want you to have no morals.
No morals, cheating, and everyone hates each other. Ugh. Right, guys?
But we've got another story. I'm moving across country without telling my mom because I know she'll try and stop me.
Can't stop me now.
So I, 22 female, am moving to New York City within the next 6 months with a friend I've known for the last 10 years. 21 female. Let's call her Carly.
It's with a C, though. It's not with a K.
Well, they're probably trying to be anonymous and do it with a C instead of a K.
Yeah, dude.
I currently live somewhere in the Midwest. I'm not telling where, just for safety reasons. But I have always planned to move to a different city where I felt I could accomplish my dreams better and connect more with the people around me. By the way, this comes from Cool Dinner 5111, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, For all of last year, I have been traveling across the country, even to the UK, to find the perfect city. It just so happened that one of the trips I went on, my friend Carly came along with me because she also wanted to see some cities she'd like to move to as well. We went to New York City and absolutely fell in love. I also know it could have been just because I was on vacation, because honestly, everything that could have gone wrong with the trip went wrong. Nevertheless, we still loved it. We decided that would be the city we wanted to move to about 4 months ago. And I have been working 2 jobs plus some side work such as selling art and clothes to save up for this move. Now that it's getting closer to the move, I have been telling some friends and family just so they're prepared. But I'm thinking about not telling my mom until the week of the move, or maybe not at all. For context, my mother and I have never had a good relationship. She is an immigrant and a single mother of 6. Currently, almost all of her kids are out of the house, except the 2 youngest twins who are in junior year of high school. She honestly doesn't have a good relationship with any of her kids.
Oh, gosh.
Yoif. Her oldest child, 27 female, hasn't talked to her in the last 2 years.
Ugh.
Whew. Our mom doesn't even know she's currently engaged to a great woman. The reason for this is because she's your textbook self-absorbed person. Anything we do, we're doing it to her. Like when I was failing classes during the vid due to stress and depression, all she could do was scream at me and ask, why am I doing this to her?
Oh my gosh.
She also has a lot of double standards between raising boys and girls. And if you knew what country she was from, this would be normal. But she has always put more pressure on her 3 girls on taking on more responsibility than her 3 boys. Part of the reason my older sister doesn't talk to her anymore is because of this. I could imagine that amount of pressure she went through. My mom is also not much of a loving mother. She has probably told me she loved me twice before.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
And it's probably after you
Oh.
did something amazing.
Ouch. I can only remember hugging her once, and she really doesn't show sympathy to anyone ever. Other family members know this about her and tend to stay away, such as all of my cousins and half of her own siblings. On the other hand, I know the reason why she's like this. It was really hard for her family to get to America. It's pretty obvious she suffers from PTSD and other traumatic conditions. And from the few stories I've heard about her parents, they were simply monsters compared to her. And on top of that, raising 6 children alone as an immigrant after your partner leaves when you're giving birth to twins can be very hard on a person.
Oh my gosh.
She also has helped me when I needed a place to stay for 6 months. I used that time to save on rent by getting to travel the country and ultimately choosing to move to New York City. Although she did give me heck when I stayed with her by telling me I'm going nowhere in life and how I need to come up with a real plan in life. She let me stay for free. She has always pressured me to go back to school. She believes that the only way I'll be successful is by doing that. But I have just gotten out of the worst depression last year over school, and I think going back will only be a waste of time, mental health, and money. I also truly have a real plan when I get to New York City. My mom has already expressed to me how it hurt that one of her daughters has gone fully no contact with her, and how most of her kids don't talk to her about their lives. Girl, maybe time for self-reflection. Maybe we wonder why. Maybe we're like, why don't they talk to me?
Yeah, maybe look at the common denominator where every daughter
doesn't want to talk to you.
It's like, oh, I do not enjoy talking to mom. I do not enjoy talking to mom. I do not enjoy talking to mom. What is the common denominator?
I wonder why.
Yeah.
And I just know she's going to feel hurt about me moving across country without telling her. I just get so much anxiety talking to her. I've told my cousins about this who personally know her. They believe I shouldn't tell her until the very last minute because she'll just try to sabotage my move. So am I the a-hole for not wanting to tell my mom that I'm moving across country? And there are some comments and I think an update, folks. But what do you think?
I had a friend do this where his mom was pretty controlling, and he went to New York City to grab a poster, a 7-foot poster.
Dang.
And came back home the same day. He did it in 24 hours.
Well, then she'll never know.
Tennessee to New York City.
Well, Opie is, I think, moving for full time. So
yeah,
I
so in that scenario, one day, really good.
She's gonna know.
But forever, maybe give her a letter.
Yeah.
I think would be good if you don't want to talk to her in person. Because I understand if you're like, I cannot stay.
Yeah.
In contact, this is just she's gonna sabotage it somehow. I think leaving a letter would be perfect.
I think that you tell her when you're going. You know, you get everything in order, make sure you have all the plans set, and then say, hey, I'm leaving. Maybe like give her a couple days notice, or
I'm going
like
to the
day
Big
off.
Apple.
Yeah, I'm going to the Big Apple and ain't coming back.
I don't think so. I think doing a letter if you feel very strongly that you don't want to have her sabotage it, because I think the mom would do something like where
What would she do though if you had everything set?
whoever's car you're taking, she could do something to the
slashes
car.
your tires.
Slash the tires.
Well, I think you park somewhere else.
Say you stole something, call the police on you, say you're missing.
Dang.
People get crazy.
Well, if you truly are that worried about it, then yeah, don't, send her a letter or whatever. But
Leave a note.
I don't know if you want any sort of relationship with her. I think tell her. But
Leave a note saying we will come back around this later. I need space.
Do the one with like the ransom with like the different letters from
Yeah.
different magazines. Like, your daughter's in New York City. Don't
never
try and
see
find
her again.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there are some comments, folks. So comment 1, not the a-hole. If you're worried about her sabotaging your move in life, she's been at least emotionally abusive, then you have every right to keep information to yourself.
Thank you, commenter.
You seem like somebody who tries to be compassionate and understanding. I think that your outlook on your mom is a good one. She doesn't deserve to hurt. She's gone through a lot, and circumstances make being a good parent difficult. But that is never an excuse to guilt trip, control, etc. Her reaction to you getting the space that you deserve and may need is not your responsibility. If she is hurt that another child is moving on to healthier relationships, maybe she'll be more inclined to take a look at what's really going on. I'm sorry things can be so complicated, but it sounds like you have some amazing plans coming up. Don't let anybody stop you. Moving away also doesn't have to mean no contact. Heck, maybe you'll grow closer with a distance that helps enforce boundaries. Good luck. And there is an update, folks. Do you have any thoughts before we get into that?
Go to the Big Apple.
Yeah, just
Live
go.
your life.
Just go. I know I haven't responded to any comments and posts yet. I haven't been able to update sooner because I literally work all the time. I work about 70 to 80 hours a week. I get 1 day off every 2 weeks, and all I do is sleep.
Goodness.
I know that sounds tough, but I haven't been more at peace in my life before. I know what I want, and I'm actually able to make it happen. Just wanted to update everyone about some of my plans and things that are happening about the move. Rest assured that I have an actual plan. I have friends who live in New York in my industry and have at least 2 jobs lined up when I go there as backs for each other. And all this working will lead to at least $10,000 in savings when I go, not including the paid for travel and stay for 2 to 4 weeks before I can find an apartment. Yeah, leave. You gotta go. I will say my friend Carly that I was moving there with has dropped out from coming with me. That happens. It sucks, but it happens. She has an opportunity to go to school where she stays currently for practically free, and she's taking that option. Needless to say, that does make moving even scarier because I'll be doing it alone. But that won't stop me from chasing my dreams, and it shouldn't. Sometimes we have this idea that, we're going to go on this trip with her or do something with her friends, and then you're faced with, I got to do it alone, and you have way better, you make way better memories and outcomes than you would if you had that kind of hand holding going into it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happened when I went to UCSD. I had to decide. I was like, wow, none of my friends are going here. I don't, I'm close enough to my parents, but I'm moving to a new town where I don't know anyone. And it's scary. But you figure it out and you make new friends, you make new relationships, and your life is better for it.
That's
Yeah,
right.
fly from the nest.
Honestly, it helps me put into focus that I really wanted it more than I thought. Edit. Carly actually read my first post, and the comments helped inspire her to go back to school too.
All right.
I'm just bummed it's not with me. It also made me focus on what actual steps I need to take to get to my goals. So I have also decided to go back to school and redo my freshman year of college. Interesting. I have applied and been accepted for grants and scholarships. I'm not too worried about failing like last time because before the depression, the vid, and the overt abusive mother, I was a straight A student with a 4.0 GPA. Yeah, you got this. And seeing as none of those 3 things are happening anymore, it will be better this time. Absolutely. I'll be taking courses at a community college to not spend much money. I mostly decided to go back because the field I wanted to succeed in, I'll need more knowledge. This has nothing to do with anyone else but me. By the way, you know what does have to do with you guys? Listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left to this story.
Do we know what LP wants to do?
No.
Something
in New York City.
I think
She wants to go her own way, be her own person, and go back to school.
if I had to do it again, I wouldn't do school because I could have learned everything I know by myself.
I definitely would. I needed that structure. It was great for me.
Well, yeah, I mean, theater.
Well, theater and lit, though. I don't think you need to go to school for theater, but I think that I really wanted more. I was really looking for a more academic side rather than just learning how to act. And I think that UCSD provided that to me.
Yeah, but I mean, just a bit. It might seem like she's going to medical or something like that. School, go for it. I think that's a good pivot instead of New York City right now.
No, she is going to New York. I think she's just also doing community college there.
Oh, great.
I think she's
doing
still
both.
moving.
Okay,
Mhm.
yeah, go do it. It's scary, but you're gonna.
You got this.
It was scary moving to LA, but it's been like the best decision of my life.
The one thing that scared me for OP was like, oh, we went on what was like was it a 4-month or 4-week like excursion to New York and loved it.
4 week.
It was a 4-week and was like, I already know I want to move here. I was like, do you know how much it costs?
New
to
York
live
is
in-
expensive.
New York is one of the most expensive cities to
It's
live
so
in the
expensive.
world.
I thought Santa Monica was the most expensive.
No,
Not
New
even
York
close.
is the thing is that you might be paying the same that like I'm probably paying I'm paying less than my friend is in New York for what we have.
It's probably half of this room.
It is. I want to say her bedroom is from here to like the end of that desk and like maybe like to where you are. It's tiny.
I've been,
and
yeah.
she's paying more than I am.
But here's the positive of New York is the public transport.
Public transport, you're around a lot of stuff.
You don't have a car usually.
You don't need a car.
Usually.
Yeah, there's so much going on, but with LA you get way more space.
But again, OP might like that. But again, that's just life. You figure it out. But
Just
New
know going
York
in,
is-
it's gonna be expensive.
Yeah, I'll probably do the city life for the next like 5 to 10 years. I don't think I can do this forever.
I love this.
It's
this is all I got.
dude,
Yeah.
being able to like spread your legs and like shoot a firearm on your property and not worrying about what other people think
so you
or say.
don't want city life.
I don't.
You
No.
said-
Oh, I
thought
thought
you said you did.
Yeah, you said I do want city life.
I said I might do this for the next 5 to 10 years. Yeah.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
for 5 to
I
7
thought you
weekend.
were saying like, oh, I want city life. Like this
No.
wasn't city life because
No,
it's not really
I'd like to
city
have my
life.
own land, be able to drive around in like 4Runner, have a dog outside. It's an outside dog. It just lives outside and that's all he does. And he takes care of the goats. That's what I want.
All right.
Yeah. This is tough. I feel constrained.
Also, knowing that I'm going alone, my mother would definitely not support my choice, even if she knew I'm going back to school. I will not be telling her until the week of me leaving, which is what I said.
Yeah, you said gowan. I heard that
Uh,
little southern accent. I'm
I'm
gowan.
going.
You dropped that G
I did.
real low.
I just looked at Angela's. She said, "Did you say spread your legs, Riley?"
I did. Yeah, spread your legs out.
You want to see him do it?
Yeah, you just like you feel like you can do this.
Yeah. Maybe I'll send her the link to these posts. I have told all my siblings and cousins and not too worried about them spilling the beans because not many of us talk to our parents. I've also asked them not to. I want to again thank everyone for supporting me in chasing my dreams. And I'm not even going to shout at them. Thanks, guys. And that is the end of that story, folks. I think OP knows what they want.
Good. And speaking about shouting out people, I'm going to look at that Facebook Messenger and see that person responded.
Folks, that is the end of that story and the end of this episode. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you
And
see you tomorrow.